Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey. Hey.
How are you?
Good. Good. How are you?
I'm good.
All right.
We can't see you.
Are we
All
supposed
right. Here
to?
we go.
Oh, there we go. Awesome.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
So I'm Lexi,
I'm Tatiana.
All right.
and we just wanted to thank you first off for doing this for us.
Of course.
Okay, so first all, what have you been up to since the game ended?
I live at home in Pittsburgh with my parents. Going back to school in January, so hopefully just a couple months at home to kind of decompress after the whole experience.
That's cool.
Have you been recognized on the street by anyone?
Yeah. Typically, if I go out, one or two people, typically every time I would go out, would recognize me. So yeah, I do get recognized outside.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your favorite competition that you competed in?
That would have to be the shark fin puzzle, where I saved myself because whenever I won it, I could hear the crowd go nuts, so I knew that I was well liked. So I liked that one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Where are we? Oh, have you met any past Big Brother competitors? Are you close to any of them?
I've met a ton, but really, I'm really close with Matt from Big Brother 12. Really, I text him or email really frequently, so I definitely talk to him a good bit. I've stayed over at his house, and Shelly from Big Brother 13, I saw her when I was down in Louisiana a couple weeks ago. Stayed over at her house. Very nice lady.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, so would you do Big Brother again?
Yeah, I would definitely do it again. No question. I'm itching to play again.
Do you have advice for anyone wanting to go on a reality show?
Yes. I would say when you try out, be yourself, but be an exaggerated version of yourself. But don't do anything too crazy because the casting directors will realize that you are trying to be crazy, and they'll know that you're faking it.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
I'll remember that.
Okay, so was there ever a point in the game when you forgot that all the cameras were there?
You don't really forget. I mean, you definitely get used to them, but you don't forget. Never forget that they're there.
Do you have any hidden talents?
Besides kicking my face, which everyone saw on the show, no hidden talents besides that one.
Okay, so what was going through your head during the fight with Willie and Joe, and what would you have done if it didn't stop when it did?
I mean, I thought that they were, two huge guys. I really had no shot of breaking it up. So, I mean, if it got to work, I think security probably would have had to have gone in there. Because there wasn't anybody in the house besides those two that could have stopped it. They're the two largest people in there.
What was the worst part about being a have-not, and what is slop, and how terrible is it?
Slop is oatmeal. It's not terrible at all. Being a have-not is only bad if you're, I guess, high maintenance. People would have a hard time with slop or being a have-not. Being a have-not is not difficult in any way. It's just a minor inconvenience.
Good to know.
Yes. Okay, so other than your family and friends, what did you miss most while you were in the house?
Sports is just like news about sports. I definitely watch a lot of sports in my regular life, so I didn't get to see any of that, so I definitely missed it.
Was Boogie the same or different than what you expected?
He was a lot nicer. He was really funny in the house. I liked him a lot. I mean, he was like the good qualities about him were definitely the same. He wasn't bad at all, really. I liked him a lot.
Okay, what news story was most surprising once you got out of the house?
Celebrities that died. Like Phyllis Diller was dead. I think Sally Ryan died in the house. Some somebody else, like a big name, died. I think said Neil Armstrong died. Andy Griffin died when I was in the house too. So yeah, any of the celebrities that died.
Now some like fan questions. Let's see.
Okay.
We already asked that one, really.
Yeah.
Do you think that Dan's funeral was unnecessary?
Yes. It was just theatrics. He just trying to show for the audience. I don't really understand the point of it. He could have just easily gone upstairs, said to Frank the Quack Pack exists, and just avoided all the unnecessary ugliness that came along with it, which cost him votes in the end, I'm sure.
Definitely.
Yes. Okay. So at Team Ian BB asks, if there was
Yes.
one thing you could change about the game without changing the end result, what would it be?
Oh, sorry.
During the double eviction, I would have nominated Shane and Joe with the intent of backdooring Frank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lexi's sister asks, why were you so attached to the hammock?
Because it was probably the most comfortable spot in the house, and it gave you a good view of the backyard. You can see almost the entire inside of the house, besides the bedrooms, so you could see who was talking to who.
Okay, so at The Life We Want asks, if you were able to pick your coach, who would you have picked?
I probably, on day one, if I had to pick a coach, I probably would have picked Mike. So that's who I would have ended up. I mean, towards the end, I liked Bruce a lot, but when I was allowed to have picked, I probably would have actually been very happy with how that worked out.
At HGLover2204 asked, was your decision to take Dan to the final two strategy or loyalty?
Both. I figured he was easier to beat than any of the other people. I mean, I figured they seemed like it was going to be a jury full of people that were bitter. He had screwed over everybody. And it was ultimately the right decision because taking Danielle, I would have only won 5-2. So it was strategy, but it was also loyalty. I needed to have some way to say, I have to honor my commitment, because if I say to Danielle, I think I can't beat you, then she's probably just going to go out in a huff and not vote for me if she did. So I tried to butter her up when I was evicting her, but it didn't do anything.
Okay, so at Obsessed with BB asks, if an Ian replica was in your place on the finale, would you honestly vote for him or for Dan?
See, that's the thing. If I would have voted for Shane over Dan, I probably would have voted for me. The jury system exists for a reason. I feel like if Dan was against just about anybody else, I would probably vote for Dan. But I feel like Shane and I played clean games, won competitions, and got to the end without having to screw over too many people. So you have to, in that case, I feel like both of the games stood up on their own merits, so the person who played it clean would get my vote. If he was against Danielle, I'd certainly voted for Dan. Even if Dan won the final HOH and punted me, I would have voted for Dan. But if it's two people that played equally good games, the cleaner game is going to get my vote 95% of the time. So I would have voted for him, yes.